just a word of warning. I am a pretty big Shovel Knight fan, so yeah. But I mean, who isn't, right? So anyway, this is Shovel Knight for the Nintendo Switch. This is the Treasure Trove edition, which basically has all three campaigns in it. It's Shovel Knights, Plague Knights, and the newest edition, Specter Knight, which is called Specter of Torment. That's what the review is primarily going to be focused on. So just a bit of brief exposition. Things are going well for a while until they aren't. Specter Knight is given a task by the Enchantress to go and recruit members for the Order of No Quarter. And Specter Knight does have a past that he'd like to get back to, and he'll only be able to do that if he succeeds in his mission to recruit all the other knights for the Enchantress. Will he succeed? So, the game begins, and as you can see, Specter Knight plays pretty differently from Shovel Knight as well as Plague Knight. To me, his motions are a lot more fluid. He can do the wall run, a wall run. He can't just run straight up. He can do, I don't know, looks like 4 or 5 different steps. And what makes his traversal the most unique is his ability to sort of do an attack pass-through boost. That he can use some items in the world. He can do that, or he can kind of attack them and boost off of them to reach other sections. Also, the same checkpointing system remains where you use your gold or what have you. Yeah, about that. He did not join. No, he did not join. So anyway, your base is the Tower of Fate, and there's several merchants. There's one here who will sell you different active abilities. What I really like is once you actually buy them, it drops you down into a small, I don't know, 2.5, 3 screen level where you have to use it in order to get out. Use it successfully. That's kind of key. I mean, this one here is a skeleton sniper that you can just hit a button and you can just snipe enemies off screen, which is kind of awesome. And this is another good one. There's so many. I just like that it forces you to come up with use cases for using things you just bought. Now, granted, you can't get a refund on anything, but I do like that it forces you to use it, so you don't buy something that just sits there because you don't know how to use it. I thought that was a really, really good way of doing it. Unlike the other games, as you just saw, you can purchase new robes, which some some are just aesthetic, others have an actual ability, like this one here. This will use up, you'll still lose will, but you'll use will as your health, darkness as your magic. You'll use your darkness in order to be teleported back to safety. That came in handy quite a bit. And instead of a map, you actually talk to whoever happens to be working at the portal mirror, and that's how you warp to the different levels. So you must want to get to a point where your face is all over everything because you conquered everybody, and then you can go ahead and continue on the story there. The combat is a lot different, only for many reasons, but because you can kind of juggle yourself by continually pressing the attack button. Shovel Knight focus on a lot of side swipes and the pole going with the shovel in order to attack enemies, but Specter Knight is very different in that he uses things around him to boost to certain platforms, and you can kind of just combo attacks up. Well, enemies aren't always open to the attacks, but that's that. Anyway, I did find that there are red skulls in the game, which that's how you unlock those curios. That's how you buy them, with the red skulls. But I did find that the game really got me to try to get as many as I could. I mean, even the ones that were out of the way when I had like a sliver of health, I just really wanted to get them just for the challenge. Normally, in a lot of games, I ignore those things, to be honest with you. I'm like, yeah, I have enough from this, whatever. But the items are really useful, so it just really felt like a good idea to get as many of those red skulls as possible. And just the traversal just never really got old. It's just, yeah. And in between a lot of the stages, you will, when you see the sepia color, that will be sort of an indicator that you're going to be playing through a flashback mission or just a narrative piece. Well, normally there's a bit of narrative, and then you play through a flashback level that brings you right up into the point where where Specter Knight became Specter Knight, where he was created and had his mission. So, making those bad deals. And also, like I mentioned, your will is your health, so you have to find, just like in the other games, you have to find certain hidden rooms and things like that if you want to really max out your darkness / magic meter and your will, which is really your health. And as in the other games, Propeller Knight stage and Plague Knight's stage are certainly some of the most challenging. But I'm sure if I can do it, then you also can do it. Like as I mentioned before, this is the Treasure Trove pack. So this has Shovel Knight, Plague Knight, and Specter Knight's full campaigns. Although Specter Knight's is sold separately at this point. I don't know, I really think this is a good package for the Switch. I think it's coming out for all the other platforms soon enough. I would definitely jump on it. I am a huge fan of the series, and I did enjoy Plague Knight, and I kind of went into Specter Knight thinking, well, okay, well, let's do this again. But it really breathed a breath of fresh air into something. Not that I'm saying that it was stale, but Plague Knight was good. But to me, Specter Knight is great. I think moving around with Specter Knight just feels more natural, and it is skill based in order to be able to juggle the pass through boost attack in order to get the different ledges and things. But it feels really, I don't know, the mechanics feel like they just feel more natural to me than Plague Knight did. But they both do have a learning curve to them. Anyway, I've gushed enough about this game. Feel free to like, subscribe, click on one of these videos, check out hundreds of more videos. And that's it.